Imagine standing in court, thinking you're about to get a second chance. But instead, the judge starts breaking down your entire life, your choices, your addiction, even how you've been as a parent. This isn't just another case. This is a moment where everything gets exposed. One wrong answer, one bad decision, and it could all fall apart. But what happens next? Does she finally take responsibility? Or does this situation spiral even worse? Stay till the end, because this courtroom moment gets real fast.
All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 12678, State of Texas versus Erica Monique Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
Defense.
John Robertson from Ms. Rodriguez.
And are you Ms. Rodriguez? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review? Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it? Counsel, I'm sorry. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment? State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge. And Judge, I'm sorry. I
Oh,
forgot.
no
I
problem.
think
Let
it's
me
count
see.
one.
Two.
Oh, count
Count
two.
two.
Cleaning.
All right, any objections to the waivers of counts 1, 3, and 4?
No, no.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? And Ms. Sparks, I know it's just you and Daniel here, and Daniel's out. If you want to continue to confer
Okay.
and just answer when I need a response from you.
Okay, thank
You're right. Did you understand that what you're charged with in count 2 is possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Rodriguez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision. They will take in consideration county court cause number 636-158, 697-151. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, sir.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, there being such motions.
I know.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offense that's charged in count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Yes, Judge. States Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports and lab reports but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, it's the court to follow the agreement. Erica's, we talked about this. She's got some changes to make in her life, and she's going to use this as an opportunity to make some positive changes, to kind of head in a better direction for her and her son.
All right. How many children do you have?
I have 4 total.
What are their ages?
One's 8, but he's in Washington, with his adopted family. And then I have 2 girls, 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and my 3-year-old son.
And who is the 3-year-old with?
Right now, he's with my mom and dad. But my mom recently got, she's in a wheelchair now, so he's trying to take care of him until I'm able to come out and continue being mom to him that I have been since he's been born. I'm all he knows.
Well,
I'm trying.
here's the thing. You haven't been a good mom to him. And sometimes we have to take stock of our life. And if you take stock of your life, you haven't been a good mom to him, because otherwise you wouldn't be here for this. Is Child Protective Services involved?
Yes.
Who's your Child Protective Services attorney?
She doesn't have one yet, Judge. It's a fresh case. I actually spoke to the caseworker yesterday. They haven't filed paperwork yet,
Okay.
but it sounds like there may be a situation. I talked a little bit with Erica this morning about it, that they may be a temporary custody situation where they get her on a plan
Mhm.
and with the goal of getting the child back with her. But it's kind of at the beginning of that stage. She hadn't had an attorney appointed yet.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
11,
Why didn't you graduate?
because I got pregnant with my oldest.
So what have you been doing? Because your oldest is 18 now. So what have you been doing to better yourself employment wise?
I was working with my boyfriend's mom because she owns a warehouse, and I've been working and helping just like with shipment and stuff like that. And
Is this Isaiah Salinas?
no,
Okay. Who is this boyfriend?
Kyle Herrera.
Kyle.
Herrera,
Okay. Does he have criminal history?
No,
Does he have a drug issue?
no.
Do you have a drug issue? So, and have you been with Kyle while you've had this drug issue?
Yes, but he's more like because he's working, like it makes me want to work. Like he's like a positive influence in my life.
Here's the thing. This is what I've discovered on my time on the planet. I tell everybody I'm in the twilight of my life, or the fall of my life, because I don't expect to live to be 200. It'd be nice if I did. But if everybody lives to be 200, then that means that we can't retire till we're 160. Who wants to do that, right? But this is what I've discovered. I've discovered that usually people who have the same interests gravitate towards each other. For example, if somebody invites me to a lunch with marathon runners, I'll show up because I'm supporting maybe somebody else who's a marathon runner. But we're not going to hang out on a day-to-day basis. We're not going to discuss what type of shoes they wear. You know why? Because I'm not a marathon runner. That's just not what I do. When people have drug addictions, usually the people they're with have drug addictions, or either they enable them. So I know you're not going to sit here and try to tell me that Kyle doesn't use drugs.
If he does, he hasn't done it around me. I haven't really been like physically prior to me getting arrested. I haven't wasn't with him. It was just me and my son. It's always me and my son.
Have you done drugs around Kyle?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did he say?
That's part of the reason why I haven't been around him.
All right, and I'm not going to allow you to be around him now. And I'm going to give you some advice, and this is me coming from a standpoint of somebody who's done child protection cases where I've represented children and I've represented parents. Your main focus should be on getting your child back. Your main focus should not be on relationships, because guess what? You're not ready for a relationship. And you know why you're not ready for a relationship? Because you're in the throes of your addiction. And when you're in the throes of your addiction, you're choosing the wrong people. You're making bad choices. Make a bad choice. Your choice is impacting your child. It's impacting your mom. It's impacting your father, because now they got to raise a 3-year-old. And I know they didn't intend to have that happen in their life. You understand?
This one,
So how often were you using drugs?
I would say like 3 times a week.
All right. And what drugs were you using? Anything other than meth?
I would take Xanax, but that was for anxiety, like half a bar today.
Okay. And have you ever had to do illegal things in order to obtain money for drugs?
No.
And the reason why I'm asking you this is because I'm trying to think of a great program for you, because CPS is not giving a child back to somebody who's in the throes of their addiction. And you're going to need a support system, and your support system cannot just be your mom and your dad, because sometimes moms and dads enable people because they want to see the best in their child. They don't want to see, oh, could she be using drugs? Could she not be using drugs? They'll lean towards, no, she's not using. So that's why I'm trying to understand. And the only courts that are available for treatment right now is Esperanza Court. And Esperanza Court are people who have been maybe victims of sex trafficking, people who have sold their bodies for different things. So that's why I'm trying to figure out, because that's the only court that will be available for you. So that's why I asked. So the questions I ask, I'm not trying to embarrass anyone, but I need to get this information so I can get the right conditions for you so that you can be successful and not end up going to prison. Okay. So let's start back over. So have you done anything illegal in order to obtain drugs? And if you want to ask her that in private, and then just, because I think you know what question I'm asking.
Judge, I don't think so. I think it's more like the original offer.
Okay.
I don't believe it's far as the question.
Okay. All right. So what are you planning on doing with your life? How are you planning to support yourself?
When I'm actually kind of excited about getting, I feel like this is a new start, for a new beginning for me and my son. For myself, I want to start working. I want to be part of society. I want to be a role model to my daughter, my youngest daughter, who seems to be following in my footsteps. I'm kind of excited I feel like I'm starting over. I'm getting a chance to start over and change my people, places, and things.
Please, my child,
I don't do that. I won't
he goes.
to continue.
What do I do?
All right. I need everybody to whisper. You would have to wait till she calls you.
Okay.
All right. So you want to explain to me, and I have no problem with people having tattoos, but I'm always interested. You know, what does it mean? So what is the tattoo on your chest about? The big one, yes.
This was one of the first tattoos I got. I kind of honestly regret all of my tattoos.
Chest tattoo. What is that?
It says time is money.
Okay. And then the other tattoos, what are those all about?
This is for my sister, my baby's dad that passed away. It says dreams of dying, and my friend that passed away, and names.
Okay.
Regret.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes you can regret that you did different things, but the key is to make changes so it doesn't happen again.
Yes.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. Take in consideration county court cause number 636-158, 697-151, 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do with the booster, 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes, and the remaining of the hours will be waived once you complete parenting classes. If CPS gives you parenting classes, which they should, that can count towards this. There's going to be CPS compliance, no unsupervised contact with minors, no contact with Isaiah Salinas or Cal Herrera. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits 3 times per month until further notice. If probation wants one of those field visits or wants the field visits to count for her reporting, it can. I'm going to want the UA hotline. And with the UA hotline, she needs to call every day and at least be tested 1 time per week. And probation, if you feel like she is accomplishing things, then we can taper that off. But when I say taper it off, we don't go from she's testing every week to she's only testing once a month. And usually you all will send me a notice and I'll put the changes in there. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. You're going to either need to get your GED or get some kind of trade school so you can better yourself, okay? And I'm going to want 90 sober meetings in 90 days. We'll do a TAP evaluation out of custody. I know the TAP evaluation may recommend inpatient treatment, but whatever TAP recommends, I want her to start with intensive outpatient treatment. If that doesn't work, then we're going to be looking at inpatient treatment. And if you miss your TAP evaluation appointment, what's going to end up happening is a warrant's going to be issued and 1 or 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to end up going to prison or either you're going to end up sitting in jail to do the TAP. So this is a time for you to make choices. All right. You're welcome. Let me ask you, when you're released, do you have a place to stay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where will that be?
With my mom and dad.
With who?
My mom and dad.
Here's the problem with that.
Oh.
Child Protective Services, I don't know what they're going to plan, their plan is going to be, but usually their plan is you can't stay there. So I think there's a program.
Judge,
Yes.
the CPS worker told me yesterday that they're probably going to take temporary custody. She wants me to let her know whether she's going to be sentenced from the bench or not,
Mhm.
so I can let her know that. I think they'll probably take temporary custody of this child. That way she'll have.
Okay. Well, I'm not your CPS attorney, but this is what I can tell you. Your child is 3 years old. You will find on the CPS side that when a 3-year-old or 1-year-old is placed in care, in foster care, everybody wants it because it's a cute baby. And they feel, and they want it. So, well, I say it, they want the child because everybody loves the little babies, right? So you're going to have to make sure that you do everything asked of you. And I don't know, they may decide the baby can stay with your parents, but you can't live there. So we're back to the point. If you are not allowed to live with your parents because the child is there, do you have a place to stay?
Honestly. No.
All right, probation, is there, can you look into a sober living house for her? Yes. So I'm going to put here, defendant to reside at sober living house. And I think there's Victory Outreach. There are a couple that have that. Okay.
I do have my aunt. If the CPS goes to where I can't stay with my mom and dad, I do have my aunt, which is my mom's sister, that I can stay with. She's blind and deaf, but if that doesn't work out with my mom and dad, I can go there, but or you so the probation.
All right, probation, this is what we'll do. If she can get placed in a sober living house directly from jail, then I want her in the sober living house. If it's going to take some time, she can reside with her aunt for 2 months, but then she needs to go to a sober living house because I need you with somebody who knows what addiction looks like and not enable. You understand? All right. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I think that's it.
Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it,
Yes, Your Honor.
counsel? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. We can get off the record. I always ask a lot of questions because I want to make sure that the conditions of probation are tailored for you as an individual, not in general, okay? All right, do better. You're welcome.
This courtroom scene starts off like any other formal questions, legal procedures, and a routine plea deal on the table. Erica Rodriguez is facing a serious charge, a third-degree felony that could land her in prison for years. The judge carefully explains her rights, the consequences, and the plea agreement. And at first, everything seems straightforward. But then, things take a turn as the judge begins to dig deeper into Erica's life. The focus shifts from just the crime to her reality outside the courtroom. Questions about her children, her responsibilities, and her lifestyle start revealing a much bigger issue. And that's when the tension rises. The judge doesn't hold back. He directly tells her something most people wouldn't expect to hear in court, that she hasn't been a good mother. That moment hits hard. You can feel the shift. This is no longer just about punishment, it's about accountability. Then comes the deeper problem, addiction. The judge starts connecting the dots, her environment, her relationships, and the people around her. He explains a harsh truth. People with the same habits tend to stick together, and that's exactly what's keeping her stuck in this cycle. Now, the stakes are even higher. It's not just about avoiding prison anymore, it's about whether she can actually change her life. Because with Child Protective Services involved, she's not just fighting for her freedom, she's fighting to get her child back. Finally, the decision is made. Instead of prison, she's given probation, but with strict conditions: drug testing, rehab programs, parenting classes, and even living in a controlled, sober environment. Every step of her life is now under supervision. This isn't freedom, it's a final chance. The real question is, will she use it or waste it?